All right, everybody. Thank you for attending this evening's pre-match press conference. So, who we have is Gary Haveron, interim first team manager, and Cricket Gallagher, midfielder. Keith, do you want to begin?
Yes, Gary. It's been a pretty hectic week or so for the club and for yourself. On a personal level, it must be nice for you to have this opportunity to lead your boyhood to manage your boyhood club in the European game.
Yeah, I think it's massive. It's a real privilege now to be sat up here. It's been unbelievable for the town, so as getting into this European stage of European competition. So to be out here leading it wasn't something I obviously would want it. Tiernan and Seamus obviously made the decision to move on. Really excited about the new appointment, of course, but yeah, to be sat up here is a real honour. So they're a great bunch of lads. I've been working with the boys now for 4 or 5 years, so I was in around the first team. So I sort of that continuity and knowing the boys and having a relationship already, made it a wee bit of a smoother transition for me. Being stuck in the position, obviously is a big step up. There's a lot of responsibility, but it's something I really enjoyed over the last week, working with the lads. Obviously our game got cancelled at the weekend, unfortunately, but the boys are ready for it, and prepared well, and like I say, I'm grateful to be in the position I am.
Is it a bit odd not having Tiernan and Seamus here? I mean, they've been such the biggest part of everything that's happened over the last number of years. That's well documented. Is it strange not having their presence in the changing room and on the training ground and on the flight?
Yeah, well, obviously since I've worked at Larne, I've only ever known one way with Tiernan and Seamus being there, and they were all over everything, so they were in terms of the club from top to bottom, because they worked incredibly hard to make sure the structures and all were in place. But what that's done is laid really good foundations for the new guy coming in. It gives us a really great platform to build from. When Tiernan and Seamus came into the club, it was a much different club than what it is now, and they've built really fantastic structure. Obviously winning back-to-back league titles was a catalyst of all that work they put in over the number of years that they were at the club. So the new guy coming in is got a really solid ground to work from and a great platform to build on.
You mentioned the new man. Spoke to Nathan today. You've obviously had a bit of time to work with him. What's your first impressions and how you felt about him in the time you've got to know him so far?
Yeah, but I think since the first interaction I had with him, that you could feel the energy and the positivity that he brings to what he does and his passion for football. I think it comes through in spades, and that whenever you have conversations, he gets right into the football nitty-gritty. He talks about tactical stuff and how he sees us playing, and I think he's really excited, and sort of I think that's going to feed all that energy and that there into the players. It's going to be an exciting new phase and that there for the club to go into, so I'm really excited to be working with him. It's a new for me as well to hear new ideas and new voices and stuff, and I think it's really good for you as a coach because it stretches you and that to work with different people. But also we're nothing but excited for Nathan coming in. Unfortunately, the timing of it all made that he wasn't available for tonight, but and leading into the weekend, it's going to be a start of a new era for the football club, and one we should all be really excited about.
On to the match. Obviously this is a really difficult opponent you're playing. How do you assess your opponent? They're flying in their own league.
Yeah, thanks for that, Keith. But yeah, listen, they're a really top side. This level of European competition is a massive step up for us in terms of where we're at. Getting to the Europa League. The Conference League stages, not like the group stages. For us, that was a massive achievement in itself. Just getting that far. And I think what we really need to focus in on is take as much learning from this over these next sort of 6 games that we have within the group. We've got to learn from it. We've got to take everything we possibly can out of this to either be better home domestically, to be better for the experience when we can get back here again. It is, and that's our number one aim, is to try and make this a regular thing. When we played Shamrock and teams like this, you're talking 13 years of trying to get to that stage now, of 13 years whenever they started the process of getting into European competition and make it a bigger primary focus. You've been around Irish League all your life, Keith, conference and European trips were more of a trip. It was more of let's go and have a beer when we're away and have a bonding session and use it as a glorified pre-season trip. It's very much changed now the landscape of local football, going back home. Getting to group stage is a realistic possibility, and we proved that it's possible. It's what we do with this here, learning we take from it, and what we do moving forward, and how we sort of put that into practice now to become better for the next time we come round. So top level of opposition, we know they're going to be very much on the front foot. We know in that we're going to have to be patient and sort of be very structured in our setup, but that's what we've worked on this week, and we come here and out there to try and get as much out of the game as possible. Results are irrelevant really. Like, do you mean, to be honest, it's about what we can learn from it, the confidence the boys can take from the performance and that there individually and collectively into going back home and that there in the domestic league.
Any concerns about the pitch? Obviously, usually now you'd be preparing to train on it. That's not possible. Is that a disappointment, or are there any concerns with it?
Yeah, because I think that's a big part of it for the players, for us as staff, and that once you've been in one ground, you've been in most of them, like, do you mean, to be honest, but it's good for the players to experience that, to get on the pitch and get a feel for what it's like, ahead of tomorrow night. It's a hell of a difference whenever the stadium's packed out, like, do you mean, in the atmosphere with it, but it gives them a wee taste of it beforehand, so it's not ideal preparation, but listen, you can make all the excuses you want now, like, do you mean, ultimately tomorrow night the boys, whenever they kick off and that, the ball's still round, there's still 11v11, like, do you mean, and the pitch will be the pitch.
Correctly. What are your thoughts going into tomorrow's game? You're playing against top class opposition. Are you excited or apprehensive? How do you look towards a game like this?
No, I would say we're all excited because these are the games that you want to be part of and you want to be playing in as players. Regardless of obviously where we are in the league table at the minute. But like I say, we're excited going into these games.
Obviously, he hasn't quite taken over, but you've got time to meet the new manager. I know you spent a bit of time with him today, and you've travelled with him today. What are your first impressions on Nathan Rooney?
No, very good. He spoke with us yesterday in training, and a lot of what he had to say is very positive. And like Gaz says, I think everyone's looking forward to getting started with him and seeing what ideas he can bring to the table for us, and obviously to take us to the next level.
I mean, again, you were brought to this club by Tiernan Lynch. You've only known Tiernan in your time here. Is it strange not having him here because he's such a big part of the success that you've had here?
Yeah, of course, but obviously, yes, I worked with him for a short period of time, and that period of time was excellent. Obviously, I achieved my first league title here at the club, but football changes, as everyone knows, and people move on, and when opportunities come up, sometimes you have to take them, and obviously that's what Tiernan's done. So it's up to us now to move on with the new challenge that's ahead.
Perfect, thank you. Anybody else? Any questions from anybody?
I have a question. My name is Amin. I work for Sport TV, which will be broadcasting the game tomorrow here in Slovenia. What do you think about? What do you think are the biggest threats of Olimpija Ljubljana when you're facing it tomorrow? What are you going to try to focus on?
Trying to keep them out of our box as much as we possibly can, will be our primary objective. Like, they've got a number of threats. They've got real quality players all across the front line. I mean, you can't really pick any one of them out. They've rotated around and made a lot of changes, so they've got real strength and depth within their squad. So it is, so we know in that early they can bring on any player at any given time and present you with a different challenge. They're very aggressive about how they press and how they want to get after the game and be on the front foot, so we've got to be aware of that and be ready to combat it. They've got quality players 1 to 11, so you can pick anyone you want. They're a very, very good side now, and we know we've got a lot to do, but like I said, we put a game plan in place and then we want the boys to stick to it as best they possibly can. We want to see them come out with credit in the game. That's ultimately our aim, and that these boys come out and they get real pride in their performance, and we make sure that we represent the Irish League as best we possibly can. Thank you.
Any other questions? Is that us? Have you got any for quick here?
No.
Yeah, no, perfect. Thank you very much then. I think we'll head outside then and do some 1-to-1s. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.